Hi, my name is Fortina, and welcome to another episode of Strong and Bold. Today I'm going to talk about better, not bitter. Better, not bitter. I'm going to read from the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 16 to 17. Then the Lord God gave this command to the man: You may indeed eat of every tree in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For on the day you eat of it, you are doomed to die. God told man and not Eve, right? So I'm going to continue in chapter 3, Genesis chapter 3, and it says, I'm going to read from the middle, verse 1 from the middle. He said to the woman, Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The woman said to the serpent, We may eat the fruit of the trees in the garden, but of the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, God said, You shall not eat, and you shall not touch it, or you will die. Now here is the question. We have seen chapter 2, verse 16. God was specific. You may indeed eat of every tree in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat it. God was specific what tree. And then man just told his wife, that tree in the middle, you see that tree, don't eat that one. He didn't even explain any single thing. And he gave her fear. If you eat it, you'll die. But God didn't say that. God just said, you are doomed to die. I know somebody might say that's similar. So now, chapter 5, for God knows that, okay, let me read first, chapter 6. The woman saw the fruit was good to eat, pleasant to the eyes, and desirable for gaining knowledge. She took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her and ate it, and he ate it. So Adam, all this time, people say that she was talking to the snake. Adam was beside her, and Adam didn't say anything. Adam didn't say, babe, please don't touch that. Because remember, God had told Adam. God never spoke to Eve at this stage. So Adam failed to protect Eve by harboring information. So this is how guys do, right? They give us some information. They don't give us the whole information. And then we, Department of FBI, United, we go find every single thing that they don't give us the whole information. So guys, if you communicate better, a lot could have been saved. If Adam could have said every single thing, word by word, why God told him, and because this instruction God gave to Adam, he never spoke to Eve. And this time the snake, the serpent was talking. Adam was beside her. Adam wasn't sleeping. Adam wasn't looking after animals or anything. He was just standing there. And then he was like, eat it. So I blame you. Eat the fruit so I can blame you. Not knowing all this time you've been also wanting to eat the fruit. He ate it. Then their eyes were opened. Both of them realized they were naked. Okay, so chapter 9 says, The Lord our God called Adam, saying to him, Where are you? He asked. I heard you were in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. God said, Who told you? God said, Who told you that you are naked? Have you eaten of the tree I ordered you not to eat? I ordered you. I ordered you, Adam, not Eve. I ordered you, Adam, not to eat. Because there's nowhere any philosopher or any evangelist was never going to tell us that God spoke to Eve. God only spoke to Adam. And Adam harbored this information. He never told Eve the whole thing. He just told him something. He said, that tree in the middle, don't eat it. You could be in 3 trees in that middle. So Eve didn't even know which tree she was eating. And somebody can say, yes, she said that tree to give us wisdom and stuff like that. And so Adam failed to protect Eve, number 1. And here is where it's getting juicy. Adam answered, the woman you put with me gave me the fruit from the tree and I ate it. So he said, the woman you put with me gave me the fruit from the tree and I ate it. Chapter 3 verse 6 said, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her and he ate it. Women will be blamed for everything under the sun. Eh? So Adam, you're with Eve. You're like, let me see. And then even Adam is very cheeky. This is why men never do anything that does not benefit them. Adam wanted to see Eve if she will even die. Adam waited to see if Eve will die from eating that fruit. Because God had told him, you might die. So he's standing there. He didn't even say, babe, don't eat this fruit. It's no good. God said we shouldn't eat. He's like, eat. And remember, she was the only woman that time. And now they have plenty women. But men, harboring information, it's costly. It's costly. Anyway, better not bitter. You won't see anywhere Eve is blaming Adam. But Adam is blaming Eve left, right, and center. Growing up, we were all blaming Eve to eat the tree. But I have grown past that point to where I hold space for Eve. Eve, you're my home girl. Actually, Eve is one of the most important women in the Bible. We don't credit her well. We do not credit her well. Well, imagine if Eve had married Joseph, Mary's soon-to-be husband. Hey, that marriage would have been fire. It would have been sweet. But she had Adam. She had Adam. And this is the man God wants for you. But the one you want. Hey. And in my last video, I said that they were like children in adults' body. And that's why, like, imagine that time they would live like up to 300 years. So now imagine Eve was like, created from the rib like the 3 nights ago. And now here the man is not even saying everything. Because God gave man authority. So he should have spoken to his wife to understand. And this is why our homes are breaking left, right, and center. Men harbor information that can save us. Hey. And then my home girl, because she was still under the authority of God. Or otherwise, this Adam would have seen Pepe. Anyway, and now, my home girl Eve got the biggest punishment out of everybody there. She will give birth in pain, and she still have to give birth. Hey, how many in our culture, when a man is misbehaving somehow, or a boy, the only thing they say, you need to get married. Your mother can't deal with you. So go, your wife will deal with you. So you are getting married to a boy versus a man. And then you bear children for this man, who is also a boy. And then after all this woman we are going through, right? These men have the tendencies to die earlier than us. It's a scam. It is a scam. But for me, I think power lies where God say, in the book of one of those Paul letters, you can look for it, where he says, wife submit, let me actually tell you where it is. Wife submit your husband. Okay, it says Ephesians verse 5, 22 and 20, 22 and 25. Wives, submit your husbands as unto the Lord. Because God knew the men are lesser than. And that's why God, so he wasn't complete. After he has given him authority to eat whatever, to do whatever he wants in that land, he was still not complete. And that's why God, from his own rib, from the man's rib, formed a woman. This woman is being blamed. God never spoken to this woman. She still bared it all. She still bared it all. And that's why I say men are lesser version, are lesser than. I'm not insulting men, but I'm saying the reality. We are seeing from the Bible. First of all, a home is not complete. It needs two people, a man and a woman. And I know so many things happen in life. There's loss, there's grief, there's everything. But again, God saw a man wasn't, he was alone. He wasn't complete. He made him a woman. But the thing is, like, after God made Adam, he gave him what to do. So Adam knew his purpose was to serve, was to take care of the environment and cultivate and do these things. After he was doing that, that's when God gave him his partner. But most of us, or most men, or some men, they just wake up in the morning, they want to get a partner. You don't even know the purpose. So if you don't know the purpose God has intended for you, or why, because the thing, like, the whole point you need to get a partner is somebody you can go with, where God is sending you, your purpose in life. This is the, like, women are vision carers. They bear things. They multiply everything. Look, after Adam threw Eve under the bus, instead of even taking accountability and say, I failed. I failed to protect my wife. I failed to look after, to nurture her. I failed because I didn't give her all the information God had told me. I failed to say, don't eat this fruit. The consequences here. He was standing there with her. And then men would just say, Eve can speak with a snake. Eve is deceived, deceived. She's deceitful. She's deceived Adam, yeah? But Adam was there. Adam was standing 10 toes with Eve. And even Adam waited to see if Eve would die. Can you imagine? This is the only wife God has for you. And then you see, you can protect her, prevent something bad from happening to her, and you just let her die. Ay, Chineke me. Fear men. Fear men, oh. Fear men. They say fear Jezebel. Me, I say fear Adam. Anyway, let us God, so Eve was innocent. Because God is the biggest judge. He holds us as his children. Said, woman, your fruit will bruise. Your heel will bruise the serpent. So we women, we have the power to overcome any obstacle that comes in the way of our husbands. Let me tell on my business, yeah? So you all know, some of you that know me, I'm a very tiny person, but again, I'm very short-tempered. So when God was creating me, he didn't put enough patience in me. So he created me when he was fast. He's like, girl, you're perfect, you run. I was running from day one in life. From 3 years, I was running until now. Lack of patience. I don't have patience. I do my job. I do everything. But yeah, I see ahead. I see like 3 years ahead before everybody else. I see ahead of time. So I can't be patient, right? That's an excuse, however. But yeah, me patient. We're like this. Water and oil. That's me and patience. Anyway, so it's only God who works through us and in our hearts to a point that we are not bitter. Imagine the way Adam has betrayed Eve. Hi, if it was me, I will leave that man there in that garden. Go find another place to stay, and I'm going to be well. I'm going to be well. Even if that time God used to talk to you like live. I'm like, God, you see this man you have given me. I didn't have my choice. I didn't even say I want this one or I didn't want anybody. So me, because of peace, after he has betrayed me, let me go and stay by myself. That's what I would have done if I was Eve. But Eve is subjective under the obedience of God. Because God gave Adam dominion over every living things. So even if Adam had weakness, Eve didn't choose that against him. Eve was like, see Mumu, he's still my Mumu. Well, for me, I'll be like, okay, let's go taekwondo, ninja style. And it's not funny, but we have to make it funny, or that is too serious, yeah? Yeah, let's go taekwondo style. We see who is gonna win this battle. Because patience and me. Anyway, so I go to a point where those people who know me, they know I'm loyal. I'm very loyal. Like, I am one of those people you need to have on your side. We'll go fight. We'll be together. Whatever you need, I'll do it. Like, and as long as it's not like morally anyway. I am a go girl, go girl. The ones you call your home girl. That's me. Anyway, sorry. I had to a point like after I give my best, I usually like, if it's not reciprocated, like I serve, people commit and everything, and if it's not reciprocated, I just step out. My dears, I cut, like one, especially like I treat everybody the way I want to be treated. So when I cut every single thing. In fact, I'll cut people or somebody change my phone number, even if it requires I'll change the phone too. I'll change everything. Move on. But now here's where it gets tricky. Where those people or someone you mean to cut, like they have harmed you or hurt you in a certain way, that person you need to cut off like that, your destiny is joined. Hi. See suckers. See crooked paths that God needs to make straight. I have learned patience. I have learned obedience. I have learned submission. I have learned understanding and hold space to every single person and see when they do things that are less than version of them, they're doing from a heart, from a less than, from a deprived mentality, from the drought in their life. So instead of holding grudges, cultivate their land, their dry land, to have fruits, to bear fruits, so you can bear witness to what God has placed in you. So for me, but however saying that, I'm not going to say be with somebody who's insultive, abusive, ghosting, and all these kind of things. No. You need to look after yourself. Sorry, guys. You need to look after yourself. Be safe. So even after rapture has happened, you need to take yourself from that environment. You need to heal. You need to be whole, and you need to be completed by yourself. And as you're doing that, you can find a community that can help you in that space. But also you pray for the other person too to be healing, for God to make him whole. Because I feel like we are kind of incomplete until we are whole together. And that's why once you find your purpose in life, it will be easy for you to align with your missing rib. Right? Anyway. So what I'm trying to say is, it takes so much grace, strength, resilience, patience, wholeness, healing from being bitter or from becoming bitter, or what could have caused you to be bitter, by being better. If Eve would have been bitter, go to live by herself, she wouldn't have had Seth, who came to be in the generation that Noah, Enoch, all the way to Jesus Christ. So for the will of God to have gone through, Eve needed to be mumu. She knew everything. She saw this man. She's like, hey, this is a trick now. She saw this man was the lesser than version of the man that God created him to be. But she still served him. She still respected him. She still listened to him. She still obeyed him. And I think that's why God tricks us by saying, submit to your husband as unto the Lord. Because you can't serve the Lord without serving your husband. That one that is less than. That one you just look at this and like, how did I end up here? Like, yo, we were eating this fruit together. And you waited for me to see if I would die. You could have saved me. You could have prevented the things that made us have a rupture in our life. But you just stood and you watched. You watched me burn. You watched me crumble. You watched me being hurt, being in pain. Your sister was insulting me. You didn't say anything. Your mother calling me names. You don't defend me. Yet you expect me to cook for you, serve you, raise our children. You don't stand up for me in the community, in the society. But I still need to submit to you. Imagine knowing the information you have, knowing better, but then you submit to less than. Hey. Or otherwise, if God had just created women, this world would have had peace since then. Eve could have left by herself. She would have found like an Amazonian tribe, and fight between men and women would have never finished. Even now, it can't finish. But women, we create things. We create the environment you want us to be in. However, it requires teamwork. And I don't know. I don't think Adam ever apologized to Eve. And some of us, we sit till the cows come home waiting for an apology. But I can only say, as I said, cut, block, and move on. It is God's grace that has brought me from that space. Like, I am 100% better than last year. I have healed beyond spaces that I even thought I still needed to work on myself. However, it's only God who can tell you who you can wait for and whom you can move on from. So these are two different things. All I can say is, number one, you meet your spouse from serving. Don't just go to church looking, is he, I'm going to meet him. No, you will meet your spouse from serving. When you serve others, he will see you, he will know you, he will notice you, and he will know, this is my missing rib. Because he knows his identity, he knows his purpose, and he knows the journey he's on. So he has to find the people who can align with him. No people you will drag. You will drag each other, drag. It's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. How can you know the right person for you if you don't even know the purpose you are meant, the reason you are meant, you are made, you are created. And that's why I like saying that there's two important days in our lives, in a human life. The day you are born and the day you know why. You know the reason you are born. Or otherwise, from that time, you'll be living in shadow. You'll be living in less than. You date less than. You just look less than. You live less than. So the day you understand why, the reason you are born, that is the day you will elevate, and that is the day you will find you are equal. that you can align together. You can never force someone to see things your way. You can never, it's not possible unless you have the same image, the same likeness, the same way. Because even Adam needed to say, this is giraffe, this is a lion, this is an antelope, this is an elephant. He's like, nah, none of this belong to me. And then he saw Eve. He's like, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. He identified her. So even if you can't go say, I am your wife, I'm this, he has to identify you. He has to know you. If he can't even see, open his goro eyes, or you remove his glasses and stuff and see you and notice you, then it's not for you. You can't go selling yourself everywhere. In Swahili, we have a proverb saying that goes, kibaya chajitembeza, kizuri chajiuza. The good just walks around hawking, but the good thing sells itself. So we all need to sell ourselves. Like if you find the right person for you, you need to match their energy. You need to invest in them like there's no tomorrow. You can't say, I'll wait tomorrow, or let me test the water, let me do this. There's no guarantee. You miss a missed season. Because remember, seasons always come, as Solomon said. But a missed season is a missed opportunity. You have to wait until another season. So the more you are living less than image that God has created you, the purpose that you are meant to be, many people are being impacted because you are missing season, you know? You could be like here right now, but you're still here doing whatever, going even one, going up again, you know? You're not stable. This is the risk. And I think this is why God said, like, partnerships are important in marriages, in homes. Because, like, if I am not missing my season, and then somebody's son is dragging me to miss my season, you see? Or I want to be aligned with God's timing, and then somebody, daughter, it doesn't even know where to go, left, right, and center. So this is why I say it's really important to communicate, but also to be transparent. Say, this is my weakness. Can you support me? Because this is where God sends you in that person's life, where their weakness is. If they were perfect, they wouldn't need you. If you are perfect, you don't need them. But then that weakness, that space of feeling each other is like, you know, I don't know how to say it. It's like sparkle. It's like a missing puzzle that comes together, that connects together. This can't connect. This can't connect. But this can always connect in different ways, in different spaces, in different seasons. This will be tested, but this will survive if it's God made. Because there are things God makes and there's things man made. And that's why we have God made resources and man made resources. Man made resources, they, you know, the dam will fill up, it starts flooding, yeah? It brings flood. But then God made knows how to control because it's natural, it's nature. So you can't force things to align and stuff. But also don't miss your season of the opportunity because it won't come again. The season will repeat itself, but it will never be the same year. It won't be the same month. And I remember in primary school, my teacher taught me the most important lesson in my life. She said, Fortina, 2003, 23rd September will never come again. There will always be 23rd Septembers. There will always be 2003. Like there will never be 2003 again. To be 2033, 2023, 2013, all those things will come. But 23rd of September 2003 will never come again. So these numbers will always be there. This month will always be there, but this year will never be there. So I am urging you guys, in this season of Lent, in this season that calamities are facing all of us, wherever you see an issue, Wherever you see a problem, it can be a problem in your house, it can be a problem in your community, it can be a problem in your society, in your country, and nobody else is seeing it. That's where God is calling you to be that solution. So if I ever never talk again, learn this thing from me. Alignment, opportunity, and God's timing. Alignment, opportunity, and God's timing. Don't make the same mistake that many people keep on living, cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle. You are missing opportunities. Things that you could have achieved 20 years ago. It's going to take you 40 years. Like the Israelites. It could have taken them 14 days to get to the promised land. It took them 40 years. But also people say it took 40 years for them to be whole, to be cleaned, to, So for me, I'll say, if you're still struggling to know your purpose and the reason God called you, heal. Heal what caused you that pain, that rupture in your life, whatever it happened. And then you find your purpose. You will find your purpose after you have healed, after you are whole. Or otherwise, everybody will be dragging you, telling you this, and that's the end of the story. I always loved working with people. So I did a diploma in events and tourism, and I majored in events and tourism. And then I did a bachelor's in international tourism, hotel management, and I majored in events. But everybody was saying you should be a social worker. You should be a social worker. I was working in disability and multicultural communities when I was doing my studies. So COVID happened. I worked in the hotels sector for some time. COVID happened. Traveling industry was down. I did my postgrad studies. I did my master's. I majored in children, youth, and families. But I had the passion, I had the desire to always work with people, around people. I love people. Even if I get hurt from my heart, from who God created me to be. But that's the reason God created me to be in that space. To hold space for those vulnerable people in our societies. To hold that space where somebody is experiencing rupture in their life. And that's why I come in, and that's my job. However, I said I need to separate my profession from my personal life. I can't have a partner that I need to parent or I need to counsel and stuff like that. No, I can't have friends. With friends, you can share somebody. They should be also aligning. That's why I said don't force issues. The right people will come at the right time. And God always remove people who are not meant to go on your path, on your journey with you. So if God is removing people from your life, don't drag them. They're not meant to be there. Because you always find the right people to support you where you are at in life. And wherever you are going, they will align with you. So this is my promise to you. However bad things get, however bad seasons might seem, always remember the abundance of God's love. So my sisters and brothers, I'm leaving you in this space with the word better. Let's become better. Let's be better than being bitter. When we become bitter, everything around us is bitter. We have bitter taste. We become bitter ourselves. Nobody wants to be around us because we are bitter. So let's become better. Let's do that for ourselves. Let's cultivate that spirit of betterness rather than becoming bitter. Offense happens each and every single day. And when you're offended, it's easy for all of us to be bitter. I wouldn't be able to do the job I have, serve my people to my best of capabilities if I had stayed in the deficit mode, being used, all these things. But I had to become better to align with God's purpose and calling on my life. I said I never knew I'd become an author. And there got a point. Anyway, all I can say is God loves you. He's with you. He's waiting for you. And at the right time, at the right space, you will meet your better half. You will not meet your bitter half. You will not meet your bitter half. You will meet your better half. So stay blessed. Enjoy your Easter, and if this is the last video I'll ever do, I want you to know that I'm holding space for you today, tomorrow, and always. Bye.